You are live. What up, y'all? I just wanted to talk some shit and have some fun, but also inform of what's going on. It's a pipe and good whiskey night. What is happening, YouTube? What up, Donnie? By the way, I'm no role model. I'm just I'm just your brother and a dad. What's up, the bearded Heru? I don't know why I like that name. The bearded Heru, I like that name. So let me just inform. I don't want to be here too long, but I'm going to read some information about an important case that's coming up. Peace, 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 rap fuck. So I just wanted to inform about an important case that's coming up tomorrow with Rizza Islam. And I believe it is a trial. I think this case began in the year 2015. And as you know, it's been so many continuances because it began to get complicated and entities became involved, right? Um, um, then Rizza Islam's mother passed away, right? And she was part of this court case. So it's just taking a while. And tomorrow, this must be a special year. What is this? Must be the year of the exposed everyone, right? Right. So people's leaders and people they look up to uh, seem to be in trouble with the law, right? Rizza Islam, uh, polite, young pharaoh. Uh, uh, it must be a special year. What's happening to the chat? I'm gonna get into this real quick. Dr. Abab Miss Sugar Hayes. What's up, Miss Sugar Hayes? Donnie Williams, the OG. Wab Funk up in here. Throwing up the W, West Side. The bearded Heru. And there go Donnie again. So, how do I want to start this? First, let me just play this article. But please allow me, people, 2 minutes. Please allow me 2 minutes for this song. And let me just build up the beat. A few more people come in. I just have to. One second. Well, all right.
This is an elect.
You know what? I've been sitting here running my mouth, and I don't even have my headphones in. I'm so sorry. Hold on. Now my sound might be off for a second. Bear with me, family. Let me. If you can hear me good, let me just stop saying it. Hear me good. Hit the number 5. I just plugged my headphones in. Let me stop sharing. Like my t-shirt? 1 second, y'all. So, Rizza Islam is in hot water. And no telling what may go down because I think this is the trial, right? I'm from Los Angeles County, lived in Compton, Inglewood, Cerritos, Carson, all over here. And let me get my tablet together. Bear with me, Ken folk. And him and his mother and a group of people were involved in some embezzlement and took $1 million from some welfare recipients in some kind of way. Also, they were involved in If you guys didn't know, I'm sorry, y'all. 1 second. Okay, I got number five. So also they were involved in um, selling some fake Section 8 vouchers to people, and getting the money. And these people never did get what they was gonna want to get. There were some fake Section 8 vouchers. So Rizza Islam been busy defrauding, just like the rest of them. So Rizza Islam been busy defrauding, just like the rest of them. Okay, I think I got it together, y'all. Entertainment Group Advanced Copy. You know what? Screw the music. We have 19 in the clip. Let me just go ahead and speak on this and inform. Let me share my screen. Bear with me. We have 19 in the clip. Okay, my tablet's on. Okay, here we go. All right, all right, all right. So where do I want to go to? Let's go. Let's start off with the article. Let me make sure it shows up on my tablet. It's a brief delay. Okay, there we go. The article says Rizza Islam wages a fake news campaign on the eve of his criminal trial because he has a criminal trial for this financial fraud. This is y'all homie, right? Y'all forgot about this case, right? This is one of Polite's homies, right? One of Tariq Nasheed's homie. He's in all this stuff. Notice how Tariq Nasheed got all the frauds and the niggas who might be doing prison time, right? Just think about that. Okay, Rizza Islam wages fake news campaign on the eve of his criminal trial. The date of this little write up is today earlier, June 25th, 2023. Okay? There go old Rizza Islam, the slick talker, the one who purposely miseducates black Americans. Pseudoscience king, or one of them, right? Um, let's just go ahead and read it. Rizza Islam lies. Rizza Islam is not being targeted by the U.S. government. Let me just make this bigger. I just want to read this with y'all. Okay, there we go. Rizza Islam lies. Rizza Islam is not being targeted by the U.S. government. Rizza Islam was criminally charged by the state of California. The criminal charges allege that Rizza and his family defrauded California taxpayers of $3.8 million, which was intended to provide drug treatment to black youth in Compton and Watts. Rizza Islam and his family used Scientology front group called the World Literacy Crusade to promote the alleged medical fraud. The actual fraud was conducted through American Health and Education Clinic, AHEC. I did a whole video on this a year ago, if you guys don't know. It's called Rizza Islam Exposed, big time. But since the date is here, I just want to remind people. I've been exposed Rizza Islam on this and been talking about it. But anyway, what AHEC sold was Scientology's bogus Narcan drug treatment to high school students who did not need drug treatment. At Rizza Islam's preliminary criminal trial, he and his late mother, I told you she passed, Hannah Islam, were arrested for contempt of court after waging a defiant sovereign citizen's defense. Rizza Islam, I don't know if you guys know, him and his mama went to court for this money scam, and they start talking their sovereign citizen shit in court. So they was held in contempt of court. You know what I mean? That old Moorish shit. Okay, so we were there in court and witnessed the arrest. Hannah and his mother served 5 days in the county jail for that contempt
charge imposed by LA criminal court Judge Michael Pastor. Hilarious. Anyway, Rizza Islam was a Scientologist when the alleged crimes occurred. After the charges were filed, Rizza aligned with the Nation of Islam. His fake news campaign concocts a tale that the U.S. government is prosecuting him for speaking out against vaccinations during the COVID pandemic. This is fake news. The criminal charges against Rizza Islam and his family members were filed in 2015, long before the pandemic. Rizza Islam is not the martyr he pretends to be. And it says, see their previous story, blah, 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 blah. Right? Then it's just some extra stuff. Rizza Islam is being targeted. This is Rizza Islam talking. And then blah, 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 blah. So, you know, that's Rizza Islam. We got a trial coming. Now, let me get to this. Bam. No, that's my Tommy JT. Um, right here is me talking about this a year ago. I don't know if y'all remember. This is a great video. This, if you watch this video right here by Chief X, 49. Let me see. I got 4,900 views on this video, right? Not 4,900. Yeah, 4,900 views, right? So this video is titled "Rizza Islam Exposed Big Time," and I have, oh my god, this was a deep video. When you get time, you should watch it. It breaks down Rizza Islam from when he was young, right? And his early beginnings. Now, if I was to say anyone was groomed, if you watch this, you'll see what I'm saying. Rizza Islam was groomed. Listen to what I'm telling you. But that's another story. I don't want to go into how and what and what's happening. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist. But I believe he'll be doing some time because of this case he got coming on. So I'm just letting people know I made this a year ago. If you want to go check it out, check it out. It's probably an hour and 50 minutes long, so you may not have time to check it out right now. All right. Also, let me make this smaller again. My homie Pocket Watching with JT, who always breaks down frauds and financial frauds and all these con artists out here, he did what I went on him about a year ago called Rizza Islam. And he's a real accountant, a CPF, right? Excuse CFP, Certified Financial Planner. Legit cat. You should subscribe to Pocket Watching with JT. He broke down it. I was going to play that. But my girl, Snatch Investigations, she did one. I even sent her the video. I emailed my video to her. She watched it. And then she does one. So I just wanted to play this for you, and she kind of breaks it down for you. You know what? No. This is what we're going to do. Let's go.
Real accountants react.
Oops, no, wrong one. Okay, so he'll break it down for you. Let my man Pocket Watcher and JT subscribe to him.
Today's pocket watch is a direct request from a pocket watcher. All right. They sent me this video and they said, what's going on? I want to get your reaction from this video. So here we go. Today's pocket watch. Today we are going to be pocket watching Rizza Islam. This was probably the deepest, darkest rabbit hole of YouTube that I have ever been forced to go down into, right? I'm going to explain more in a minute. You will understand what I mean by a deep and dark rabbit hole. But let's get started. Let's go pocket watching.
Four members of a South LA family with ties to Scientology and the Nation of Islam will stand trial in a case the prosecutors say ripped off California taxpayers to the tune of $3.8 million. Today, a judge determined there is enough evidence against the mother, Hanan Islam, and two of her adult daughters and a son. They are accused of running a scheme to defraud Medi-Cal by recruiting local high school students for drug counseling that the students did not want or need at a Scientology Narconon clinic in Compton. A prosecutor says the family members hired so-called ghostwriters to manufacture records that were used to fraudulently bill the state millions of dollars. All defendants have pleaded not guilty.
All right. Okay, so that news report, this is the video that I was sent. You have to understand that news report is only 45 seconds. It's 45 seconds long. So it gave a lot.
Pause. If y'all not subscribed to Pocket Watcher and JT, trust me, you're missing out on some treats. Pocket Watcher and JT be doing some investigation, and he'll break it down for you from an accountant point of view. He's a credentialed, intelligent man who, you know what I mean, he breaks down Earn Your Leisure show. He's a good person to be subscribed to. Let's go.
A lot of information, but it gave a lot of information in 45 seconds. So I had to jump down the deepest, darkest rabbit hole of YouTube to pull out enough information to actually do this video. So I am going to rewind this back, give a little bit of commentary of what's going on, but I'll also prep the video with some background information that you can actually understand what's going on. So I'm gonna restart it, and then we'll break it down a little bit before we go into the background information. So here we go.
4 members of a South LA family with ties to Scientology and the Nation of Islam will stand trial in a case the prosecutors say ripped off California taxpayers to the tune of $3.8 million. Today, a judge determined there is enough evidence against the mother, Hanan Islam, and 2 of her adult daughters and a son.
All right, so this picture right here, I hope you realize by now, this artist's picture right here is of Rizza Islam when he was actually in court. So his mother's name is Hannah. He is Rizza, but if you actually look into the court documents, his actual legal name is actually Ronnie Islam. But Hannah and Ronnie are in court with 2 of his sisters, so it's 4 of them. It's Hannah the mother, it's Ronnie the son, Rizza, and 2 of his sisters that are in court doing this news report.
They are accused of running a scheme to defraud Medi-Cal by recruiting local high school students for drug counseling.
All right. All right. So Medi-Cal. What is Medi-Cal? Medi-Cal is the Medicaid in the state of California. So it is a state run and state sponsored health insurance program for the low income and the elderly. So if you happen to be a resident of the state of California, and based on either your age or your income, you can qualify for Medi-Cal, the health insurance, the state sponsored health insurance program.
Oh, by the way, I'm on Medi-Cal.
Program to pay for certain health care needs. So that is what Medi-Cal is.
That the students did not want or need at a Scientology Narconon clinic in Compton. A prosecutor says the family members hired so-called ghostwriters to manufacture records that were used to fraudulently bill the state millions of dollars.
All right, so now we understand a little bit what Medi-Cal is. Medi-Cal is the state of California's state-sponsored health insurance, right? So if you're low income, elderly, unable to get insurance any other means, Medi-Cal will step up to the plate and help pay for certain medical procedures, medical therapies, things that the qualified people would need. What the state of California is accusing Hannah Islam and Ronnie Islam, what they are accusing them of doing, they are accused of fraudulently getting people who happen to be high school students, getting high school students enrolled in their family-run drug rehabilitation program. So the Islams have their own drug rehab center. Now, this isn't a medical rehab center. This is a rehab center that is sponsored and is an affiliate of the Church of Scientology. And we're going to get into that. But with this program, basically what they were doing was they were able to get high school students who were members of the Compton School District. So you're talking about Compton, right? So Compton high school students were recruited to join a Scientology-based drug rehab program that was run by Rizza Islam and his mother, Hannah Islam. And what the state of California is accusing them of is that, one, these students were not drug addicts. These students did not have a need for the services that they claim they provide. That's one thing. Another part of the accusation that the state of California has presented in court is that the only reason they were supplied with these high school students is because they were bribing school officials to bring the students to their drug rehab clinic. So that's a little bit of foundational information about what's going on. But there's more. There's more. We're going to get into more. So hopefully you can hang in there. But it is
all defendants have pleaded.
It's wild.
Guilty.
I want to talk today about Medi-Cal fraud. Now, Medi-Cal is California's health insurance program for low-income individuals. It was started in 1966, and today it accounts for about 1/4 of the state's budget. People ask me, when do you usually see these cases prosecuted? Well, at the provider level.
I appreciate you, Pocket Watching with JT. Hold on. 1 second. Appreciate that, Pocket Watching with JT. I still watch your show all the time. I told all my subscribers, if they are not subscribed to Pocket Watching with JT, wait a minute. If they are not subscribed to Pocket Watching with JT, they are missing out on a treat. So I'm just sitting up here, bored on a Sunday night, smoking my pipe and having me some whiskey. And representing the Pocket Watching with JT. Appreciate you, JT. Where was I now? Let me get back to let me make sure I'm sharing my screen, right? Okay, is this the one? Is this the one?
It's Pocket.
Okay, no, that's not the one. Here we go.
We tend to see investigations and prosecutions when there is suspicion of overbilling, of providing unnecessary procedures, of padding or inflating insurance claims, of billing for ghost patients, and of...
Let me fix that. I'm sorry. I was looking at my tablet. Hold on. Y'all know I'm slow at this. Hold on. Oops. Okay. Oops. Okay, there we go.
paying or receiving kickbacks for Medi-Cal referrals.
We tend to see investigations and prosecutions when there is suspicion of overbilling, of providing unnecessary procedures, of padding or inflating insurance claims, of billing for ghost patients, and of paying or receiving kickbacks for Medi-Cal referrals.
All right, so, all right, hang in there, Pocket Watchers. There's a lot. There's a lot to this story. So here we go. So that was a video basically of a California attorney explaining what exactly is Medi-Cal fraud? How can the state basically put up charges against someone for Medi-Cal fraud? But the main two things that I want to go over in this case is that the state of California is basically stating that, one, the services that Rizza/Ronnie and his mother Hannah was billing the state of California for, those services were unnecessary for the program participants. So the high school students, they were unnecessary because these students never had any history of being drug addicts. They had nothing to do with that program. One, they were unaware of the program. They didn't sign up for the program whatsoever. And two, they didn't even need the program because they were not drug addicts. They had no history of being addicted to drugs to even need to do this drug rehab program that the Islams ran. Okay, no history whatsoever. How did they get the students? This is the second part of the state's case against the Islams. They were bribing school officials. They were bribing principals. They even bribed a high school football coach. And basically, they were giving kickbacks. They was giving these school officials money to, one, go through the school records and find students who actually qualify for Medi-Cal. Because remember, you have to actually qualify for this state-run insurance program. If you don't qualify for them as a patient, then the healthcare provider can't bill the state. The state's not going to pay. So number one, you have to find someone who actually qualifies for Medi-Cal. These school officials had access to the students' records and were able to find students who actually qualified for Medi-Cal. So for return of payment for the bribe, they would supply students that they knew if they sent to this clinic, they would be able, the Islams would be able to bill the state of California for their services. All right. So we're all close to being on the same page here. That's what was going on.
Hello, my name is Rizza Islam, and I'm the International Ambassador of the World Literacy Crusade. I'm 22 years old now, and I started here when I was 9 in 1999 as a student.
I'm Dr. Hanan Islam. I'm the Executive Director of World Literacy Crusade International, and I am the CEO and founder of American Health and Education Clinics. I'm a mother, and
real quick, American Health and Education Clinics, that is the organization where the Islams do their that's the organizations where the Islams actually do the drug rehab. They had basically two organizations. They had the World Literacy Crusade, which was one nonprofit organization. Then they had the clinic, and the clinic was a for-profit organization that did the drug rehab. So just to be clear, those are the two different things. But in the case, you can see where the two companies were actually merging together, the nonprofit organization and the for-profit organization. There were a lot of merging together. Same staffs were being used. They were both run out of the same building. So there was a lot of merging between the nonprofit organization and the for-profit organization. So that's another issue that I may or may not go into because I don't want this video to be super long. But there's a lot of messy money things going on with this situation.
clinics. I'm a mother, and it's devastating to find out that your child, who you have birthed and raised and nurtured through sick days and prayed for and laughed with and all of that stuff, is now doing drugs. What we do is a very holistic, very naturopathic way. We use vitamins, we use exercise, minerals.
Also, real quick, side note, I want to make sure that I'm very clear. Yeah, she refers to herself as Dr. Hannah Islam. don't get it twisted. She's not a medical doctor, right? So when she said naturopathic, I want to make sure you understand she's a naturopathic doctor. Whatever, I mean, she's a naturopathic doctor. She's not a medical doctor. There's no MD behind her name. She's a doctor in philosophy of naturopathic medicine. So, I mean, make sure I know there's a lot of people who like the naturopathic stuff. Okay, cool. But I just want to make sure all the cards are on the table.
Basically, I think it's a certificate level shit that they overhype. I'm not positive. I don't even think she has a bachelor's degree. That's what he's trying to tell you. I don't know. So don't quote me, but it's far from an MD.
She's not a medical doctor. All right.
And that's how we get a person off drugs. It's easy to take a kid, put him in a sauna, sweat out all the drug residue so that he's not constantly re-stimulated and wanting to use drugs. Over the 20 years of World Literacy Crusade, we have serviced over 16,000 men, women, and children, which we are very proud of, even though we're proud to be the only program delivering what we deliver and funded through the state of California. We don't only want to be able to deliver to this community. We want to be able to expand and to deliver anywhere.
All right. So, as you can see, Rizza, Ronnie, and his mother, Hannah, the World Literacy Campaign, which is a nonprofit organization, but also the clinic that they was running, all of this stuff is kind of coming together now. And you can see that Ronnie was the one that was actually teaching the classes. As you see with this Narcanon, this Scientology-based drug rehab, it's there's a lot of different things to it. I want to make sure I keep this within the realm of pocket watching, but with Narcanon, there's a lot of things to it as far as, you know, different stuff that they have to read that is basically Scientology, that is the foundational work of Scientology. There's also systems where they take certain vitamins, they have to go to a sauna and sweat out what they would consider sweating out all the toxins. I want to be clear here. The high school students that were in this program did not do those things. The high school students that were in this program, they would just...
But I paused it. By the way, I don't know if you know, in her program, if you delve into the research of it, if you watch my previous video on it, it's talking about sweating out toxins for you to rehabilitating on some drug issue, right? Sweating toxins in a sauna and shit. I mean, some wild shit. So that's what naturopathic people be into. A lot of pseudoscience shit.
Simply get bused from the school to the clinic based on the reports that I was able to read from the state of California and other news sources. They were bused from the school to the clinic. They sat down and they watched a 45-minute video hosted by Ronnie/Rizza Islam. He was the teacher, the instructor. Then that's it. There was no saunas, there was no taking of the vitamins, none of that. So even if you believe that Narcanon, the Scientology ran rehab center, even if you believe that that stuff works, that's not what the students got. The only thing the students got was a 45-minute video and Ronnie/Rizza in front of them, giving them probably some instructions, talking them through the video, right? Then, this is what the state is alleging. After the video was done, what Ronnie/Rizza would do, he would take the sign-up sheets that have all the students' names. Remember, these students were already pre-qualified by the insider principal, who already have them on the list because they know they qualified for Medi-Cal. He would take that list and hand the list over to staff members of their organization, and the staff members would just start writing these elaborate stories for each one of these individual students about how they were progressing through the rehab program. There was no real rehab program. They were just watching a 45-minute video. But these ghostwriters would write these elaborate stories about how they went from, being horrible drug addicts and how they slowly would progress all the way to being sober. This is what the state of California is alleging happened. All right. This is all court documents, people. This isn't anything that's secret. This is all court public information.
Court tonight grows out of months of investigation into suspicious deaths at a drug treatment center. It's run by Narconon. If you've seen our previous reporting, then you know Narconon has strong ties to the Church of Scientology. The two former Narconon executives to step out of the shadows. Tonight, they join Harry to share their experiences.
They feel compelled to speak out about what they say are the program's failings.
We did the story last summer of 3 different young people who died at Arrowhead. Did you see the story?
I did. And I felt terrible about it. Could have been prevented. Absolutely every single one of those deaths. If those families would have gotten the truth about what they were getting into, they would have absolutely not have sent their families there. And I apologize,
And what were they getting into? Catton and Tenorio say a crash course in Scientology. Patients are called students, and they study a series of 8 books based on the writings of Scientology founder L. Ron Hubbard.
They can confront their own problems and solve their own problems, and so bring themselves up by their own bootstraps.
It looked like he was eating on a pen. You see how dark his lips are? Looked like he was sucking on an ink pen or something.
Patients are called students, and they study a series of 8 books based on the writings of Scientology founder L. Ron Hubbard.
They can confront their own problems and solve their own problems, and so bring themselves up by their own bootstraps.
Narconon promotes itself as a non-medical rehabilitation program.
In this process, while you were at Narconon, did you become a Scientologist?
I did. I became a full-fledged Scientologist, absolutely.
I did. I became a full-fledged Scientologist, absolutely.
I dedicated all of my time, life, money, everything was dedicated toward the purpose of advancing Scientology's aims. That is what you're doing at Narconon, is you're advancing the aims of Scientology.
From your perspective, and you were the president of Narconon Arrowhead, does the Church of Scientology use Narconon as a way to recruit new members?
Absolutely it does.
The other main objective of Narconon, Catton says, was to pull in millions of dollars in revenue. The 3 to 6 month program cost $30,000 per patient.
So therefore, you're willing to either lie to them or misrepresent who you are, or take people who aren't really qualified, anything to bring in money to keep the facility going week after week after week.
Oh, Lord. Okay. All right. So that's all the foundational information that I have to present before I even get in the numbers. I had to explain what Medi-Cal was. I had to explain what the Islams, Hannah and Ronnie / Rizza, why would they even be involved in a medical insurance fraud investigation? It's because they were running a Scientology-based Narconon drug rehab center. And that drug rehab center were pulling in students from the Compton School District who had no idea what was going on. These students had no idea what was going on. They were just selected by the principal of the school because they happened to qualify for Medi-Cal. They were then bused from the school to the Islam's clinic to watch a 45-minute video hosted by Ronnie / Rizza, And then their names were supplied and given to staff members. This is all according to the state of California. Those names were received by Rizza. Rizza would take the sign-up sheets at the end of the class, give it to ghostwriters, people that the Islams hired to draft the most elaborate stories about how they were, drugged out kids who would then come to the program and they would go through Narconon. And then now all of a sudden they're sober, well-functioning children, right? All of it, according to the state of California, was absolutely BS. So that is what brings us here to this pocket watch. What happened with the money? What's going on with the money? So let's take a look and see what happened with the money. All right. So as I said before, the World Literacy Program, that was the nonprofit organization, right? Then the what was it referred to? I believe it's the American. What is this? American Health and Education Clinics. That was the name of the actual for-profit company, right? That was the name of the for-profit company that the Narconon Scientology drug rehab was being funneled through. Now, the nonprofit organization apparently lost its nonprofit status from the IRS around the same time this investigation was going on. So around 2015, that organization lost its nonprofit status because it failed to file 3 consecutive nonprofit.
Pa, I want to interject something, and this is my last interjection. What it is with people who take chances like this, people gamble. People are taking what we always say, or what we say on the West Coast, penitentiary chances, right? So sometimes you may be able to get away from a scam or get over to something, but sometimes the consequences are much too bad to even try to gamble. You see what I'm saying? So people want money that bad. They want to shine. They want the money that bad and to floss that bad. They'll gamble on penitentiary chance. That's how much money. That's how much money means to people. Now, money means a lot. I love it, but I'm not going to take a penitentiary chance. Not that's just me personally, right? So some things you just. I mean, I can't even explain it. Let me stop.
The tax return. So that got yanked. So as far as I know, based on what I was reading and researching online, they were no longer a nonprofit after 3 years of not filing. It just so happens that those 3 years that they were not filing happens to be the 3 years where this fraud, according to the state of California, this fraud was actually taking place. So we're talking about between 2010 through 2013. So what is going on with this money? What's going on with this money? Well, the clinic, the American Health and Education Clinics, is a partnership LLC. So pocket watches, when you have a partnership, you have to file a partnership tax return. It's referred to as a 1065, a form 1065.
By the way, Pocket Watch with JT is a real credentialed accountant. Okay, just by the way.
Partnership tax return. Here's the thing, and I tell clients this all the time. Partnerships do not pay taxes. Partners pay taxes. What do I mean? There is no tax rate federally for a partnership. There are tax rates for corporations, and there's tax rates for individuals. There's also tax rates for an estate, a tax rate for other entities, but let's try to keep it somewhat simple. There's not a tax rate for a partnership. So what ends up happening is you have to file a partnership tax return, that 1065 partnership tax return. But that tax return is only informational. right? So let me give you an example. Let's say me and one of you pocket watchers out there, we're partners, right? We have a 50-50 partnership. And let's say this business does $10,000 in net income. So let's say there's $50,000 worth of revenue. We had $40,000 worth of expenses. And what's left is $10,000 worth of net income. What now happens? We reported that on a 1065 partnership tax return. What now happens? Well, what happens is the partnership tax return also has a form on it called a K1. And that K1 basically splits up that $10,000. So if it's a 50-50 partnership, one K1 is going to have my name and social security number on it. And I'm going to be responsible for reporting $5,000 worth of partnership income on that K1 form on my individual tax return. And you, as my partner who owns 50% of the company, you are responsible for reporting the other $5,000 on your individual tax return, right? On your 1040, and it would show up on Schedule E, right? How are we taxed? We're going to be taxed most likely totally differently based on other factors. So let's say this is the only business that I'm doing is this partnership, and it's $5,000. Since it's $5,000, this is the only business that I have. I'm really not going to pay any tax. I'm probably going to be subject to self-employment tax if I'm an active participant in the partnership. If it's extremely passive and I'm not doing anything in the partnership, then I probably won't be taxed anything at all, because the standard deduction, if I'm single, would be what, $12,400. I have a $5,000 passive partnership income. I'm not going to have any tax. But let's say this is your second job and you're making $100,000 on your regular job, and now you have this additional $5,000 worth of tax. You're going to be taxed at the tax rate based on this $105,000. Well, technically, after adjustments and after your either standard or itemized deductions. But the point that I'm trying to get to is partners are going to be taxed based on their individual situation. That's why there is no tax on partnerships. Now, that's what brings me to Hannah. All right, what's going on with Hannah? Hannah's issue is she never filed individual tax returns during these years where this partnership that she was in was running. So if we take a look, we can see, and this is all from the state of California. So the state of California brought in a special agent from their state's tax department to report this information. So I got this information from the court information. So normally a private company's information wouldn't be made public like this. Only non-profit organizations am I able to just pull up their past tax returns, or a public company. A public company, I'm able to pull their tax information. I can't pull the tax information from some random small business, unless in a situation like this, it has become a part of court record. And that's what happened. So in this company, this clinic, in 2010, the company reported $293,102 of partnership income. And on that tax return, Hannah reported that she had a 90% stake in the business. So 90% of that net income should be reported to her as the individual. So that comes to $263,792. She didn't even file a tax return. So it's not that she didn't report the number accurately. She didn't even file a tax return on over $250,000. Then we move on to 2011. In 2011, the company overall did a net income of $525,233. So that's the number that's on the partnership tax return. She once again reported that she was a 90% partner in this business, meaning she should report $472,710 of partnership partnership income on her personal tax return. She did not even file a individual tax return. Now we move on to 2012. In 2012, the company, this partnership, reported $1,047,769 of net income. Now, this year was different from the rest. This year, she reported that she was a 50% partner in this business. So she should have reported on her individual tax return $523,885. She did not she did not report anything. She didn't file a tax return. Not at all. Then in 2013, this is the crazy part, and this is a good teachable moment. In 2013, a partnership tax return wasn't even filed. They did not file a partnership tax return. But here's the thing. The money from this company came from the state of California. So because the money was coming from the state of California knows how much money the company was paid. So it knows what the total revenue was because it comes from a state of California program. Now, even if it didn't come from the state of California, let's say it came from another company, the state of California would eventually find out anyway, because that company most likely would have issued her company, the partnership, it would have issued a 1099. So they would have found out how much money she would have got anyway. But what's even like makes it even stupid, if I can say that, what makes it, let's say, crazier is that not only would the state would have received eventually a 1099 from whomever paid this company, the state is the one that's paying you. So because the state is the one that's paying you, the state doesn't need to wait on a 1099 from a third party to tell them how much money you got. The state paid you. So they know how much money you got. So in 2013, even though they didn't file a partnership tax return, the state knows that they got $1,398,639 because you got the money from the state. And here's the issue. When you do not file a tax return and report the expenses of the business for that year, it is not the job of the state, it's not the job of the federal government to come up with your business expenses. The state is well aware that a business like this is going to have expenses, but it's not the burden of the state to report your business expenses. You have to report your business expenses. So there is a thing called a substitute for return. This is a good point. I know I probably lost a lot of you new pocket watchers that are here for the drama, but for my for my true pocket watchers out there who enjoy the money talk, let me explain something to you. I represent clients before the IRS all the time, and these things happen. If you run and operate a business and you receive 1099 income, and for whatever reason you do not file a tax return, the Internal Revenue Service has the authority to file a tax return for you. It's called a substitute for return. So what does the state do? What does the IRS do? What they're going to do is they're simply going to look at all your 1099s and count that as income. They're not going to give you any expenses because it's not their job to try to find expenses for you. What they will do is if this company is if the company is a sole proprietor, meaning that you file the company information on your individual tax return, what the IRS will do is they're not going to give you any business deductions, but they still will allow to and give you your standard deduction for the year. So let's say you had $100,000 worth of 1099 income, and for whatever reason you don't file a tax return. What the IRS will do is they will count that $100,000 as 100% profit from the business. They're not going to give you any deductions. They're not going to give you any deductions for your business deductions because that's not their job. That is your job. That is your responsibility. But what they will do is, because it's filed on your personal tax return, they will give you certain personal deductions, right? They're going to give you your standard deduction. So if in the previous year, the last time you filed, you were single, they're going to file you as single again on the substitute for return. They're going to give you the standard deduction for a person who's single for that year. What they may also do, what I've seen, what they're also going to do is they're going to give you an adjustment to income, which is half of self-employment tax. So that's half of the 15.3% that you have to pay on that $100,000. They're going to give you an adjustment of income of half of that self-employment tax. But that's it. You're going to get the deduction for the half of the self-employment tax. You're also going to get your standard deduction. I don't even think you're probably going to get the qualified business income deduction, because there's certain information that the IRS would need to confirm to know that you're even qualified for the qualified business income deduction. So I'm not even sure you're going to automatically get that. That may be something that you would have to go back and try to apply for and get. But I said all that to get to this point. So because there was no partnership tax return filed in 2013, the state of California, or the Internal Revenue Service, has the authority to file this tax return for the Islams. And basically, they just going to say that all of the $1,398,639, all of that they paid out to them for their drug rehab program for 2013, they're going to say all of that was net income. And based on the fact that she filed as a 50% partner in 2012, they're saying that she needed to report $699,320 on her individual tax return, which she also did not file for this year either in 2013.
Wait a minute. So basically, he said for 3 years she didn't file.
So that is what's going on. Now, this case is still pending. They're still in court. This thing is still going on. So I'm going to wait and see.
So this is a year ago, mind you. I made mine a year ago. I don't know if I made mine before him, but I made mine before Snatch. But I do think I made mine before Pocket Watch JT, because I was coming from another angle than he is. What's my point? So tomorrow's the court date. So that's why he said it's pending a year ago. So the trial is the 26th, which is, I guess, if you're in New York, it's today. But I'm in Cali, so it's tomorrow still for the next hour. So
exactly how this thing ends up. But I can tell you this, based on what I saw in the court records, the school officials, and I believe it was 2 principals, 1 football coach, they have already pled guilty to the bribes that they got from the Islams. So it's going to be kind of hard for them to defend themselves in this fraud when the people the state was basically saying you bribed to get the high school students from Compton School District into your program, they already admitted to it. They already been fired. They already admitted to it. It's for them, it's over. So for you to try to defend yourself in this case is going to be kind of hard. It's going to be.
Y'all understand that? So the people he was doing dirt with have been fired and punished, all kind of shit already. So he's going to be trying to defend himself from some shit that people have already admitted guilt to. It's kind of crazy. So I think he's pretty much done from what I think. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer.
Be tough. Then, even if you claim that this Narconon program, which a lot of news sources out there is saying is absolutely bogus, it's based on Scientology teachings. If you believe in Scientology, whatever, but a lot of medical professionals are basically saying that the Narconon program within itself is bogus. But I'm even going to take that off the table. let's say that the Narconon program is legit and it is the best program known to man to get people off of drugs. The students that were in the program were never addicted to drugs. They did not have a history of having a drug problem. So that still
We got 5 more minutes, people. 5 more minutes.
falls under the state of California's fraud code, basically stating in Medi-Cal, if you are billing the state for a medical procedure or therapy that is unnecessary for the person that's in the Medi-Cal system, that is a form of fraud. Additionally, another form of fraud is paying someone kickbacks to get people in the program a part of your health procedures. So based on the fact that the state has already clearly shown that these students did not need the therapy. Let's not even think about, does the therapy work? It clearly shows that they didn't need the therapy. That's obvious. That's hard to argue that they needed drug rehab when they never had any cases of having drug issues. Then the people who you bribed, or who the state claims that you bribed, they admitted that you bribed them. So it's going to be extremely hard for Ronnie / Rizza and his mother Hannah to say that they're completely innocent and get off this case. It's going to be extremely hard. Then when you...
So, by the way, Hannah Islam, Rizza Islam's mom, I think she may have passed 3 months after this video was made. So it's just Rizza Islam that's going to see the judge.
You add in the fact that no tax returns were ever filed. No taxes were actually paid. So let's say this, the partnership tax returns were filed, but the actual tax returns where you pay tax was never filed. So you can file a partnership tax return, but you're basically snitching on yourself, right? So if you file a partnership tax return saying, yes, I made X amount of money in this partnership, the natural next step is to file your personal tax return with the partnership information in it. I mean, that's the natural next step that you do. If you don't file the personal tax return, you're just snitching on yourself. It's like, yeah, I made $500,000 last year in a partnership. Here you go, IRS. Here's all my information. But then you don't actually file your individual tax return to pay the tax. I mean, I don't understand what people are thinking. Please, people, before you think you try to outsmart the government, hire a financial planner, hire an accountant that can at least counsel you on what could happen, what's not going to happen, what you should be doing, what you should not be doing. You're going to end up in a mess like this. This is exactly what happens when you try to go around the system and beat the system. So, pocket watchers, I know this was a long video and there was a lot of accounting and tax and financial things that were going on. But hey, trust me, I'm there with you. I had to dive into the rabbit hole of Scientology, Narconon, Medi-Cal to bring you this information. I'm telling you now, it's going to be extremely tough. I will let you know that based on the court information so far, each one of the Islams had their own defense attorney. They didn't have one attorney for everyone. At the particular hearing that I was reading up on, each one had their own attorney. And based on the very limited information that was in that report, it seems as if all of the children's attorneys were putting all the blame on the mother. They were saying that the mother knew everything and the children were just following orders. This also includes Ronnie / Rizza's attorney. Ronnie / Rizza attorney was basically saying he was just in charge of doing the program and that he didn't know about the money stuff.
That's interesting now that he's saying that. It's just coming to me. That would be a possible loophole for him getting off. Since his mother's passed, I'm not sure if it's 3 months after this video, but after this video she passed. She's passed, so she can't be questioned, or can the blame that the children or whoever or he may do blame on the mother and she's passed away, then that may create some doubt. You dig?
But everything the mother knew, so he shouldn't really be looked at in a criminal position. But apparently the state of California said, no, no, no. Ronnie did know what was going on. He was the one that was taking the sign-up names of all the students and handing them over to the ghostwriters, knowing that the ghostwriters were going to make up elaborate stories about how they were drug addicted youths that needed this program and how the program helped them. So there's a lot of stuff going on. Trust me, whenever this court case ends, I will be giving you an update about what's going on. So thank you, Pocket Watchers. I appreciate it. Thank you for hanging in there with me. Thank you for growing to 23,000 of you out there. Continue to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Continue to give me your suggestions on who you would like to see me pocket watch next. So I appreciate it, and I will see you guys.
Okay, so when he made that, he had 23 subscribers. So today, he has 80,000 subscribers. So, just so you know, I'm just suggesting, and I'm not playing this. Yeah, he did make it that video before me. Now that if I got him in my video, this one I did my own angle on it, and it's a conscious community angle, right? Um, so just remember that's the name of it. Rizza Islam. I did this a year ago. Exposed big time. Oh my god. All right. Scammers be scamming. Scammers gonna scam. So, as the video was playing, I was just enjoying my pipe and having a little glass of whiskey. Um, what else? I would play Snatch Investigations, but y'all can watch that on your own. So let me just show you her channel real quick. She does a nice expose on this from a legal point because I think she's I'm not sure, but like a paralegal. So JT gives you them numbers, right? Angie gets you get into um, just the criminal law side, kinda, right? She has some very nice videos on polite and little fine, skinny little thing. Snatch Investigations is her channel's name. Now, mind you, Snatch Investigations been cheating on me, right? And she ain't posted nothing in a year, so she kind of disappeared. Um, I don't know if I seen her comment on something, but she kind of disappeared. But maybe when it gets salacious again, she'll come on out the closet. So I'm not gonna play her. So if you just want to go check it out, go check it out. Yeah, I miss Smash and Snatch Investigations. She used to do a couple good lives, and she just kind of speaks real well, and you know, you can tell when a person has great common sense and logic. So that's what kind of draws me to somebody. When I see they have good common sense and logic. I'm just reading a few comments to see if I missed something. Yeah, I think this is what's gonna happen. To tell the truth, when it's I don't I don't know if this would be state or federal case. Um, but when you're taking penitentiary chances, you'll pretty much say anything. So that's all I really wanted to play. Um, I got 43 in the clip. Um, that's about it. I guess we'll peace out till um I think tomorrow I'm gonna go live. Then I may lay low for a few days because I gotta start grinding Tuesday and do what I call drum up some money. All right, get my salesmanship on and focus for some hours. Yeah. Well, I must have missed this armchair. You were surprised that Inky is banking on Sonetta and Polite again. um, does it is his page? I forget. Don't he got another page that? Cause old page which he had numbers on got shut down. So, um, you know what channel that's on? Or how recent is this? Like yesterday or today? Trump for prison. Stop it, Dr. Banu. They just got Trump elected and about to backfire on all of them. And Trump got quiet as kept. Trump got blackmail power. Don't ever sleep on the United States President of America and think a billionaire is going to do some time and be. It's just they're scared to death of Trump. Trump can have a rally right now and get 3 times as much as any Democrat can get. They're scared if this cat run again, he may possibly kick their ass again. And it's real. So you got to do anything to slow it down, or what do you call it? Throw a Hail Mary. Hey, Doctor, if I knew they throwing a Hail Mary right now. But I keep telling people, United States President of America got blackmail power that'll hush every goddamn thing up. Believe you me. So you know what? I'm gonna peace out, y'all. Okay. That was a good little. I just wanted to inform. I wasn't trying. It wasn't really an expose. I exposed this a year ago. I'm just repeating and informing people because the trial is tomorrow. Hey, look here. There you go. You got niggas caught up in this year. This must be the year of the dragon. Uh, uh, um, uh, says a Compton proverb. This is the year of the dragon. Niggas getting fired and got court cases up the yin yang all this year. Everybody's top scholar, every who the most popular, everybody is getting nailed and taking L's. Young Pharaoh taking L's. Then lost most of his major social medias. People don't even believe a word he say no more. I mean, he used to have some staunch followers. He still got a little bit, but they even like this nigga then lost his mind. Polite going to jail. You got what's the motherfucker? He had his court date. He got a continuance. Um, the gun club guy. What's that nigga name at the gun club that pointed a motherfucking rifle at the Fed and really did that shit? So listen, I'm a gun guy, a 2A guy. Y'all know that. You know, you don't pull. There's laws to be a lawful firearm carrier, and on top of being a lawful, supposedly lawful firearm carrier, you're leading a militia. So you have to be extra careful leading a militia displaying bad firearm habits. As far as you don't point shit at no federal agents. People act like this is some light shit. You snapped and got cocky trying to show off in front of a crowd. People can, oh, he ain't. No, 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 no. You don't point no motherfucking rifle at no federal agents on a roof. You don't do that. You're asking for trouble. Now, I don't think he meant any harm personally, but showing off and forgot, you really can't do that. Right? But making snap judgments and having a big ego can clash. I heard of an incident. I don't know why I can't think of this name of this group right now. NIC. What is this shit? If anybody can think of it, type it. Yeah, Jam Master J. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's his name. It sounds like that. Jam Master J. His name is similar to that. You know, y'all know I'm old. But I remember another prior incident. Grandmaster J. Wait a minute. Grandmaster J, the militia leader. What's the name of his group? He's not in jail right now. Oh, wait a minute. Is he detained? Yep, that's it. NFAC stands for Not Fucking Around Coalition. That's it. NFAC. Not Fucking Around Coalition. One time, it's a prior incident. It was a negligent discharge. So you got to understand when you're the leader of a militia group and you're found one time to have a negligent discharge, you don't make those mistakes. Sometimes you get together with a group of ignorant niggas. What is your hand doing on a trigger when you're peacefully marching? I'm 2 years. I'm telling you, listen here. The people is ignorant as hell. Like, I keep a firearm. All I do is watch these 2A gun laws and listen to these gun laws attorneys and all the rules and regulations and behaviors that's appropriate, right? And he's doing a gun review and telling you a rifle will go off if you hit the button like this, and just gave us such gross information. I said, this motherfucker don't know what he's talking about. How is y'all following this cat? What you say, Donnie? Yeah, somebody had a negligent discharge. Not fucking around coalition. That's who it is. Grandmaster J. You know what I mean? So I mean, then you got to think of um, um, what are people showing anger about? You know what? It's all kind of psychological reasons. I'm not even going to talk about right now. It's been a minute and 19. Excuse a minute. An hour and 19 minutes, and we're just gonna go ahead and shut it down, y'all. And I'm gonna get with y'all tomorrow. Then I'm gonna take a few days off.